New York. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Denver Broncos. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
Ready, break.
Max 50, Max 50.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
18 Gator.
50.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
On second and 9, Locke. He's got a first down and more past the 30. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall. Second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft. His teammate T.J. Hawkinson, 8th overall. He was selected by the Lions. But Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine, and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, a run with Lindsay. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Hey, exit.
Yep. Screen. 49's the mic. Watch 49.
Let's set a tone, fellas.
On second down, here's Locke. Gets it off to Freeman. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
It's just me and you.
From the gun, it's Locke. This is the tight end Fant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
First down, Denver. Here we go, set. 90, Wolf. Topper.
The mic. Watch 49. All day.
Clock now on first down. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. On second down, it's Lindsey. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
50, plant. Alpha. On the ball. Ready?
Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
Hey, Zoo.
59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check. 59. Watch this together.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money, because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Well, we talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And Oliver in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Now Locke. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. He completes this to Sutton. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep.
And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Shoot.
After the turnover, here's Locke. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Lindsey. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
50's the mark. 50's the mark.
Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Come on now, let's go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Mike 5'9".
Throwing is Allen on third. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Locke. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Lock to throw on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On second down, Smallwood. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 11.
$319. 56, 56.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. It's caught by Treadwell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen, and that is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. 3rd down here.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Singletary. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Going to throw deep for the end zone. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Hauschka with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
Let's go now.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And McManus able to put it through. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Now the ball comes loose.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation. And that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Go.
Hey, orbit.
From the gun on third down, Locke. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now Brown. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
John Brown. And that's complete to Brown. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. John Brown with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken very short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Let's make these babies cry. 80 weapons. Let's make these babies cry. Check 43. Be careful.
Another run by Lindsey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready up. Hey, high 7.
Defense, let's go.
Ready.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On the counter, Lindsey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
Double.
49's the mic. 49's the mic. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lock. Well, that's complete to Sanders. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks.
Clear. Mike 50, Mike 50. Yeah.
Safe.
General West. Right. Get up.
Lock to throw for it on 4th. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Play action. Now it's Allen. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On second down, it's Lindsey. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Play action. Now it's Locke. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Locke. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Gets around him. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On play action, Allen. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On play action, Allen. An incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 34. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Allen now looks to throw. He goes underneath for Yeldon. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Hauschka with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll go again with Lindsey. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now Locke. Going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. With it is Brown. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. He completes it to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Smallwood. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Leo!
I'm coming after you. Check 24, check 24.
Hey, check 24, check 24.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
At the Bills' 47-yard line.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Look at me. Score.
I'm coming after you.
Fair.
Shoot.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Check three.
Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They'll run. It's Lindsey. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And they say it's never easy to come into Denver to win because of the altitude. They look pretty comfortable in the altitude.
They certainly did. I'm not quite sure how they got prepared. And it's always been a big debate about what to do. I lived out there at one point. I lived in Colorado Springs. And I remember saying to someone after my 2nd or 3rd day there, like, this altitude thing, this is no big deal. And day 4, it hit. And it hit hard. And it took me a while to get ready and get acclimated. So some teams, they like to come in early, try and get on a schedule and feel good with it. Other teams say, forget it. Let's not let the effects jump on us. They come in as late as possible, as close to kickoff, and play. Whatever way they did it, it worked in this one.
So for the Broncos, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas.